Thank you very much for joining, guys. Apologies, I've been away. I was just busy building some applications for my business. But I did notice some few things when I was busy building. As you all know, Bubble has introduced the workflow charges. This I think started last year, 2023, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there is various ways to actually avoid this. But today I'm going to show you just the number one method which I've been using, which has been very effective on how to reduce the workload. So basically, what you see on the screen is what Bubble charges per workload. You will see here, get yourself familiar with this document so that when you build, you must put these things in consideration. Today, I'm going to show you how to reduce your workload when you're doing search for. So if you can see, a lot of time, if you can see performing a database search, this is zero point 0.3, which is one of the highest. You can see other things which comes back, each results returned from the database, each character returned from the database, um, each search for real-time updates, database. Majority of these things are talking about database. Yes, we have some APNs and API. I mean, there, but majority of this is talks about the database. So basically, what I would like to show you is to reduce workloads. If you have an application which is going to do a lot of visits to your database, just best believe that you're going to have a huge workload. But so for today, I'll show you how to reduce that, and it's very simple, guys. um, is basically pulling one result from your database, put it in the front end, and then whatever you want to do with that particular results which you received, it should not go back to the database. It should just take the results you already have in the front end. To make an example, I have a dummy database which I've made here. Let me cancel this. I have a dummy database which I've made here. Basically, just for this example, this is like a TMPS scoring. I've, names of people here. I have Jennifer, I have George. They all got ratings from the customers who they assisted, yes, the dates and so forth. So let's make an example. Going back to um, so this is the it's just a group. I put the name here, and then also the text here is going to show the results. For an example, I just wanted to find out how many ratings did Jennifer had. Basically, I'll go to say do a search for, and then I'll search for from the TMPS, from the NPS database. I mean, so for anyone whose name is Jennifer, I can say contains Jennifer, which is fine as well. It depends on how you structure it, but obviously, when you're to be more precise, you might have to do some changes there. Sorry, apologies. If the name, not Jennifer, if the name is equals to current user, yeah, let's do that. Current user's name. So in that database, if that name is equals to the current user who's going to be using, um, show the count, how many results are there. um, this one I've changed it to yellow, but I'll put it back to black. We'll change it later. So let's go to test to see how many results does Jennifer have. Okay, Jennifer has 0. So let me check if I made a mistake there. If the name equals to current user's name, the only issue which I didn't do here, I didn't go and run as. Let's run it as Jennifer. Run as Jennifer. See, five. Jennifer will have 5 results there. So I've just made one, do a search for, which is fine here. But I think the challenge will start to come if you want to use that data you have pulled to manipulate it. Let's say, for an example, I want to say, uh, do a s- do a search for like every single time if that result is, let's say, this TMPS, the name is equals to current user, current user, current user's name, the count. Let's say the count is greater or equals to 5. make this to be green. The color should be green. So this is what is going to happen. So here it is. Let's do a search for results. So because we already know it's 5, it's greater than, so the result is going to be 5. But we can add an additional one. Let me just copy this and say, do a count if it's less than or great or equals to 0. For all those users who don't have any results as yet, let it the color be red. Um, color be red. Let me hide this. Yeah, color be red. This one. So, and then let make the standard color to be orange. So basically, is everyone who is greater than 5, every sorry, any result which is greater than 5, the color will be red. Any results which is 0 or less, which you know you might not have less than 0 results, but it depends on the type of applications you're building. You probably can. So it must be red, and everything in between 5 and 0 should be orange. That's why I kept orange to be the standard what do you call color here. So basically, when I do refresh, nothing will change because we already know that is 5. But let me just make an example so that you can see it will change. Let's say greater than 6 is green, the other ones is orange, and the less than 0 or 0 is going to be red. Refresh it, is going to show that number is 5, so it's red. Like so, the problem here is I've made like how many searches? Is one to actually get the data on the count, the number itself. Number two, the count I want here on the what do you call these expressions. I've just added a sorry on the conditions. I just added the uh, greater than 6. It's another search to the database. So basically, this will go to the database and count again. And then again, here to go back to the database and count again and see if it's less than 0 or whatsoever and give you the color. So I made 3 searches just for only this one number to appear on the screen, which is not very much wise. The best thing which I always do, I always, instead of using text, I use the input. Guys, instead of using text, it's best to use input. So I'll just replace that text, replace it with input. Let me just copy this. It's coming from the text. Let me go to the input, and here on the input, I make it as an initial value. Make it an initial value. I said this input is disabled, so this input can no one can put anything inside this input. It will just come as an initial value. And then let me go copy the conditional here, copy it, put it here on the input, paste it here, and then go back to here, copy it, go back to the input, paste it. What else is here which I need to copy from? Okay, orange, and also the size is 50. Then it's fine. Let's delete this text. We're left with the input, and which is like size is 50, and this one is let's go, it's orange. I think it was bold as well, but it's fine. We just make an example. So basically, the search will show here. Let me just double check to see if I get the results. Yes, I do get a results. Obviously, you can do some changes there and there. Let me put it on 0, fit to screen, and also let it fit the height. Is cool. So the answer, yes, is 5, similar to that, but this one, it's on the input. It's not on the text. Let me just remove the place, the border. Where is it? The border. Let me remove the border so that it won't show that it's like an input. Yeah, see, it's cool. Everything is fine. Just put it on center. Refresh. Let's go. Okay, cool. Here it is. Let's remove this placeholder because immediately on the with the placeholder is going to be before the screen fully loads, is going to say type here. So we're removing it so that when you refresh it, those split seconds, maybe it might be blank, but the number will appear. So if you have noticed, yes, I still have three searches, right? I search, I got a results here, and then I search again, I got this conditions, whether it's green or red. So what I can do, this input, I can say, let me just give it a name, like a value name. So I can copy this input rather than doing a search for here to be greater than is equals to then a zero. I can just simply let me delete this. I can just simply say if this inputs value, um, which is the reason why I'm not seeing greater than is because the input is still a text. I haven't changed it to number. Let's change it to can change it to decimal or integer in this case, but it depends on what you're trying to do. So see, if this input is greater or equals to let's say 6 right now, it is going to, let's say, the color should be green, right? So that's that. Let's go to the second one, which says if it's less or equals to 0, where is it? So basically it's similar to what we did with the text, but in this case it must be red. In this case it's only searching it once. So let's go there, let's see how it looks. um, if it's still showing, yes, everything is fine. So now let's change it to 5 to see if it was going to change to green or not. Let's see. There you go, it's green. So basically here, if you notice, I didn't search three times like what I did with the text value. I searched once. So I searched this once. It will get this information from the database and kept it in the screen. And these conditionals, they don't have to go and search again the database. They just reference it to here. So this is very effective way of actually reducing workloads of doing multiple searches. If by any chance there is a result which you want to put in the screen and also get the same results on a different element on the same screen, you can actually just change whether that text to be an input. uh, as you can see here, I only searched once, but I can put a lot of conditions on it, and I made this input not something to be it's disabled, so you can't enter a different number on the front end of the user, and the user won't even notice this is an input or not. But this is a great way to actually reduce. I'm going to do a follow-up video. This video is going to actually dig further, especially if you can see, if we're going to go to the database, this is like NPS, and NPS, as some of you will know, is a different multiple sets of calculations, which is like the promoters minus the detractors, that answer divide by the total number. So just to get that score, you are going to do three searches on the database alone. Imagine when you're going to but I'll do a next video explaining all that. But that's a different way for you to save, guys. Use inputs instead of text for the your applications. That will save you a lot of workloads. Thank you very much for joining. Cheers. Bye bye.